Hi, today we're going to go over the risks and benefits of using a search engine, Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, for obtaining nursing information. Okay, and we'll look at a few different things, looking up medications, looking up how to do procedures, looking up medical definitions. So let's start with looking up medications. So I know a lot of people have their phones with them and they're using them while they're at the clinical site or while they're working. I definitely use my phone. I think it's a great tool. I have a bunch of apps on my phone so I can easily, I have a calculator, I have my drug lookup, I have up to date, I have my dictionary, I have YouTube. So it's definitely a tool to utilize, but we want to make sure that we're doing it safely so that we don't harm the patient. So when I come to do Google search and I'm looking up a medication, I'll do furosemide, that's a pretty common one. And I'm kind of right away with a bunch of different options. So let's see, the first one is Medline. So I can click on Medline. This is through the National Library of Medicine. This is a government site, the National, and I know that it's a government site. So I'm so I'm thinking this is all right. Let me see what I have. Why I can look at why it's prescribed. Okay, all right. What should I do if I forget a dose? This is clearly geared towards the patient, not the healthcare provider. The date here, September 15th of 2017. So we know our drug books are updated every year, so this would not contain information that I as a nurse could use when giving medicine to my patients. I'm not going to use that one. Let's go to the next one on here. WebMD. Okay, I know this comes up a lot when I do Google search. I see WebMD. So I've got the medication, I have uses, different tabs for side effects, interactions. Let's go down and see what we have here. Yeah, this medication, take this medication as directed by your doctor. So again, you can see this is geared toward the patient. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Let's see, I'm going to go to the bottom of this. So this is a good way to see if the site is okay. So right here it says WebMD does not provide medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. So this is not a website that you could use as a medical professional in giving care to your patient, because right there it is saying it doesn't provide medical advice. That's a disclaimer. What else? I thought there was, I'm sorry. Drugs.com. Here it is right here. So a lot of students actually use this one. And this site, it's like, yeah, it definitely seems like it has more of the information that you might want. It has the dosage. But again, you can see right here, how do I take this as prescribed by your doctor? Again, geared towards the patient, and it's not really giving me, it didn't give me the doses with the normal ranges. And if I go to the bottom, what does it say right here? This material is provided for educational purposes only and is not intended for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This is not something we as a medical professional could use when looking at information about our patients. So on the other hand, let's see, what can we use? So you have your Mosby's Drug Guide, that's your book. I know if you want to bring that to your clinic, you can definitely do that. You would want to make sure you're using the message edition. Also, when you're in the electronic record, the medical administration record, there's a link usually in there for whatever drug guide the agency or the institution is using, so you can click on that. And also, you can use a reputable drug app, and I use Epocrates, which is why I have that here. But let's take a look at it. I have it on my phone. I look up furosemide right here. I can see, so adult dosing, so it's not just kind of what a range is, but specifically why. Like if you're taking it for edema, this is the range. If you're taking it for pulmonary edema, this is the range. If you're taking it for hypertension, it's a different range. So it gives you all the information that your drug book would give. This is updated all the time, so if the information is accurate. I know that because I've looked into it, but you would have whatever app you want to use, you would have to check that out first. There's safety monitoring. And the other thing about this is you can see that every time I come in and look up a medication, everything is going to be in the same place all the time. And that is a big deal for nursing because we don't want to make things harder. We want things to kind of be routine that can be routine because there's so much that we can't control. So if you can remove some of that cognitive load by using the same apps over and over, finding information the same way over and over, it becomes easy and routine, and it just makes your nursing care easier to provide for your patient. So another benefit is that you'll have confidence that the information that you're giving is accurate and current, ensuring that you're providing the best care for your patient, which is always evidence-based care. And also you're protecting yourself against discipline or lawsuits if the patient is harmed or dies in your care. So you can imagine if you are a new nurse or if you're a seasoned nurse and you're looking for medication you're not familiar with and you use a website that says right at the bottom, this is not to be used for medical treatment, instead of using a reliable source, and something happens to your patient, you're being questioned about that, and you have to answer that you used drugs.com, you really put yourself at risk for disciplinary action or lawsuits as well. And it's just not best for your patients, so please don't do that. Okay, so let's see. So now looking up medical terms. So this is just, I just don't know what this word means. And there is a whole other language, so I completely understand that. I still have to look up medical terms. So let's see. So this is one that actually, so when I look for a word, I usually put in, like I want to do the definition as well. And here's one that says medical. So let's look this up. So the first thing that comes up, I just kind of, this is coming from NIH.gov, so this is definition, it's an increase of fat in your stools. And I can stop pearls. I know that that's a reputable source because I use it all the time. What else do we have? Medical dictionary, let's click on this one. This is a, let's see, free dictionary by Farlek. I'm not sure who that is, but it has the definition excessive fat due to malabsorption syndrome caused by, so it has a lot of information. So it is an excess of fat, but this other stuff, the causative, I know that there's different reasons to have it. Let's go down to the bottom and read the disclaimer. Information to not be used or considered complete or up to date and not intended to be used in place of you seeing another professional. So this again is not a website that we as professionals can use. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I just want to show you this is how we can go through the process of finding out what is reputable. So here, Merriam-Webster, this is a dictionary that's been around forever. I've used it forever. You can see I have an account here, which I'm at the open to. And I have an app on my phone. So it's going to give me just a basic definition. But then if I go, sorry, I'm scrolling. If I go to the bottom, I can see that there's no disclaimers. There's no disclaimers. They trust the information they put out there to be accurate. And they do have a medical dictionary too, if you wanted to look that up. Okay, so we just went through a few ways looking on the websites, things that I look at. I look for dates, I look for other disclaimers. So this is kind of just a page of what are the steps? How do you know if how do you reduce your risk of getting information that's wrong or that has stuff missing from it so you're not getting the full evidence-based information you need? So first, use reliable sources, government agencies, reputable educational institutions, and reputable private organizations. I have a list on the next screen that I'll show you. I'll share with you. The other thing, just like I did, you could search the page for disclaimers if the information isn't complete or accurate. just look at the patient, see if the information is directed at the medical professional instead of the patient. So some of those things we looked at were saying if you're taking more, it's clearly directed at the patient. So while you can get some information there, it's not going to be the information that you need as a medical provider. And also you can look for things that are current. Generally when we're doing research, we say the past 5 years. Certainly for drugs, you want things within the last year. And some things are a little less, like, if you're looking, some of the things we're going to look at next is videos of looking for incentive spirometry, how to use that. I mean, that's not going to change too much. So you can use information that's a little bit older. Here are the things when I'm doing a Google search or on my phone or a DuckDuckGo at home. When I'm doing these searches and I see these agencies come up, CDC, the NIH, the Office of Disease Prevention, certainly Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, Harvard, all of these are reputable. I know I'm getting good information. Up to Date is a private paid organization that does have the most recent, and the doctors are going through these documents all the time, and they're updating. They're always searching the newest research and making sure that the information they get is up to date. So doctors use this when looking up care to give to their patients. StatPearls is also private, but used by the NIH and these other associations, and we know them, they're good. We can feel confident that we're getting good information when we're using these websites. Oh, and Up to Date, so there is a charge to pay that we don't have it through Holyoke Community College, but you might have it. You probably have it at the hospital that you're doing your clinical at or where you work, so you can check with them. Okay, so next we're going to look at nursing procedures. So yeah, say that you are at clinical and you forgot you don't know how to use a PureWick, or you forgot to teach a patient incentive spirometer. So you can certainly at your website, there will be, it's your clinical, but they'll have a Lippincott journal. This is the one I think pretty much at every hospital or SNF uses these. Also, you can use their policies, or you can use videos from reliable sources. Reliable sources are the manufacturer's website, and then there are other ones. I do use Registered Nurse RN. She has a disclaimer that it might not be up to date or accurate, but I trust her information as far as I've seen, and I'm aware of the risks that I'm taking. So let's see. So you just look up like PureWick, how to use, and I'm scrolling right here. The first one that comes up is the manufacturer's website, and how do I know that? Because it's BD PureWick, and it says it right now, BD PureWick. So I can just use this information. I feel comfortable using this, and this is steps how to do it. Now for a video, if I wanted to do that, then I would just come here, go to video, and then I can look. I can see there's a lot of information. Again, I said I trust Registered Nurse RN, so I'm going to go right there to that website and use hers. Okay, and I just want to leave you again with the things that you can do to reduce your risk of getting the wrong information when you're searching for information in the clinical setting. Use reliable sources, search for disclaimers on the page, and use information that's directed at the medical professional instead of the patient. Look for current dates with the most recent care. Thank you.